taking out the R6 Masters, but both have that dark horse factor, I guess.
And they've got plenty of time to do it. I can't even remember how many weeks we are away until we get into that, but I know it's not just around the corner, to say the very least. So, coming straight in for Fury's ban is going to be the Capitao.
Indeed, Capitao taken out once again this evening. Neither team wanting to deal with those asphyxiating bolts as well as the smokes as well.
Ooh, okay.
And Jackal off the board. So we did see quite a bit of Jackal play from Fury on Bank, and it looks like Rhythm want none of that heading into map number 3.
Yeah, do you think that's a ban associated with the map or a ban associated with the way Fury were able to play the Jackal?
Probably a little bit of both. I guess Coastline, due to sort of that square shape, sometimes doesn't have the best flanking opportunities, but it does offer a lot of vertical play, and I assume that Rhythm may want to take full advantage of that. So they have taken the Jackal off the board, of course, probably on reflection of the previous round, the previous map rather, as well. But Valkyrie as well off the board, so any thoughts on that?
Obviously, that's going to deny a lot of the info, and felt like both teams were actually running the Valk. Well, actually, I can't remember Fury so much on the defensive side, but it was almost a religious pick coming through for Rhythm in most of their rounds. So maybe it might be a directed pick, but still cuts off a lot of that extra intel, the info gain for the defensive side. But wait and see what impact it will have. We do head to hookah and billiards first. Thoughts?
Well, to be honest, I feel like any site really is viable on Coastline if you have the right strategy and the right approach. Basically, all 4 can be defended. Once again, Coastline is such a... I don't know if linear is really the best way to describe it, but it's basically a square with 2 floors. It's one of probably the simplest maps, and I feel like that really helps in terms of helping to balance it out and offers a lot of flexibility for the defenders to decide where they want to go. So, heading over to hookah first, probably one of the more favoured picks, so nothing too surprising there. But once again, I feel like if Fury lose this round, they'll just be able to head somewhere else and reset. There's no pressure for them to persist at this one site, thinking it's the be-all and end-all.
Yeah. Valid point. Now, as it is, well, as it stands, rather, we don't really have any hard breaching potential for the attacking side. And oh, okay, Rock, okay. Oh, nope, not this time, but you may as well.
Yeah, that was interesting. Rock coming out with the ranked run out nice and early there. Very popular one among the ranked scene. I don't think I've actually ever seen it in competitive, so a good little attempt there from Rock. Unfortunately didn't net in the kill, but I wouldn't have been surprised if it did. So maybe one to save a little bit later in the map. But, nonetheless, he doesn't really lose much in doing so, just a couple bullets. He manages to get back to site scratch-free.
It's a nothing for naught kind of situation where they don't really gain, they don't really lose. So, ooh, okay, no unit, just going to be tickling the thought of the kill, and Iron Man happy to pick up his drone again and back away. Thumbnail still holding on from the lower site, and pretty steady spread at the moment, but Rock, there we go, finally opening up in the first is Worthy. He's able to a prompt trade to give them somewhat access and bring it back to the neutral standpoint.
Yeah, that appears to be the case. Ash and Jaeger off the board, not really the most impactful in terms of utility usage, as Ash is really primarily a fragger, and Jaeger already would have placed those ADS devices down, so it's really just a loss of gun power, but a pretty equal one across the board. AJ taking out one of those black eyes nice and early, and Shade getting aggressive on the peak will net a frag as well, so unfortunately IQ now off the board. Warden will drop Wayne Man as well, leaving it all up to Thatcher and Buck. Worthy here with some vertical potential. Remodeling from below inside the bar, but net a kill, and it'll be very, very hard to get this plane off. No smokes will be available, a couple of nades possibly for Worthy, but if Fury play this smart, they should be able to close this one out.
Looks like they're going to send Buck on a wild adventure all the way back around. It's actually already waited out in the hallway, but Warden was waiting, and now is worthy is basically worthless. As the 1v4 coming in from a different position, Legion's going to be able to deploy the use of the goo mine, and his worthy will fall down. A relatively flawless, almost flawless round coming through for the side of Fury.
Yeah, Fury looking pretty strong as we start off here on Coastline. Once again, Coastline, like most of the maps, generally tilts in favour of the defenders, so I think the main objective here of Rhythm will just be to salvage maybe 2 or 3 rounds here and there, if possible. They don't really want to go into the half scoreless. That would, of course, be the worst case scenario. So if they can salvage around here and there and pick up the scraps of any mistakes that Fury make, I think they'd be pretty happy with that result.
Now, what are you thinking about the gridlock? I was talking to Cthulhu in the last matchup that we did. It was on Border, and he said that the use of gridlock is yet to be released, I think.
Yeah, I guess in comparison to Mozzie, Gridlock has seen a little bit less play, and I don't think he has had his potential really explored. So definitely a lot of it there, and I think I'm not exactly sure how effective it'll be on this side in particular. I feel like maybe this might be one of the weaker sides for Gridlock just because of the way it not typically plays out. It still has some potential, and of course LMG is extremely powerful. So yeah, it's good to see that Gridlock's getting some gameplay, and both Aussie operators actually being in the map at the same time. Shade looking to potentially go for a spawn clear. I think he thought better of it as the drone spots him out. Fury looking very aggressive on the roam here, trying to pick up any frags that they can early on. And with 30 seconds to go, it looks like they are warding off the attack here from Rhythm just a little bit, trying to throw them off guard.
Right, Warden with some early intel. It's going to be one already used. Rocket's a nice shot, but will be completely and utterly traded out. So again, the impact that Sky's the observer that Ash may have had, completely nullified, and that's going to be a little bit tilting because that's the second round in the row realistically falling down without a slap back of its own. But 2 minutes, and I really think there's been too much gained on the terms of Rhythm.
Scanning for electronics.
Still time left to make this work.
Yeah, small sense of deja vu with both Ash and Jaeger off the board early. But as I previously mentioned, still a lot of utility available for both teams, and neither frag going to have a massive impact on how the rest of this round plays out. Does look like we will now see the attackers of Fury expend a little bit of time here to try and work out where these defenders may be sitting. Spruce, they will take out your unit, and unfortunately now IQ also off the board.
Who would have had some impact, but I wouldn't say it'd be the largest either. Buck's still there for the opportunity to support the soft breach, but it's being picked apart so far, and wowzers, Spruce actually comes out on top of that. Thought the positioning would have been favoured, and Fury close it out again with only dropping one member on the side.
Yeah, Fury once again looking quite convincing and highlighting just how suitable all these objectives can be for the defense. Anticipating them to probably head over to Bar now for round number 3. We could potentially see them go Penthouse, but a little bit unfavored in the current meta, and yeah, they're looking to go Blue and Sunrise, bringing pretty similar operators, and Gridlock still getting played once again. Didn't have a massive impact on the last round, but I feel like her potential might be a little bit higher, as Blue and Sunrise typically has some pretty common rotate slots and some pretty common roaming around the site.
Wait and see whether we do see any kind of presence on that second floor from Fury. They've seemed to relatively stick closer toward the site, but having said that, in the previous we did see the quick trades coming in on the southern, rather the eastern side, but and rocking it seems to be just a stock standard setup on their defense, not really deviating away from. And Rhythm picking up that Sophia instead of maybe the Ash. So maybe this time Sophia does not fall down. Although I think it's going to be highly likely depending on how aggressive that they decide to play to begin with.
Yeah, I'm liking this setup from Fury so far. Looks to be pretty well thought out. Common holes being made. Whoa, into Courtyard Rock. Once again with the Toxic Runner. Jeez. Waiting for one of these to actually finally net a kill, but the second one won't. And it's going to allow the members now of Rhythm to begin pushing above, which doesn't look like it has a hell of a lot of presence. So a lot of verticality potential could be unlocked here from the attackers.
Now just giving just some nice renovations, giving them, well, I say that, but is Worthy's really doing the damage upstairs for now, finding themselves a little bit of extra knowledge, intel, as they slowly spanned out. And now looking to take fight in toward the staircase. No one really there at this point, and there's going to come out the initial slow from Lion's gadget. Doesn't really work to any avail just yet, but there's Sophia dropping out that Claymore, and they've now successfully taken the top floor, and Hookah and Billiards, and might look to put their attention onto that first floor.
Yeah, a minute 30 now into the round, so almost at the halfway point. And not a single member has been dropped yet. Unit, the only person that's hit a little bit of damage, so it's been pretty passive so far as both teams try and play that intel game. Worthy finally getting to work above vertically, but I don't think he's really going to have much in the way of fragging potential, as it looks like most of the defenders are sort of out of that line of sight. The first of lines E1Ds goes out, and unfortunately Rock in the blind spot there of Unit. We have and a second frag potentially. Thumbnail and OJ get a kill each, and Thumbnail now on the double as Rock gets another Thumbnail that's dropped for the headshot. So the quick retrade is successful. Rock there getting in a nice little fight there with Worthy. Worthy probably should have won that gunfight, but he will whip out the skeleton key. Oof, just manages to drop him as he switches out of it. Gridlock coming into play there. Shade not able to go through that vault now, so those traps are playing into the hands of the attackers, as Shade will drop Wayman now. So 30 seconds to go. He does hit one of those traps, but it's unsuccessful in slowing him down too much. OJ dropped while he tries to plant. The coverage not there from Worthy. 30 seconds to go. He's going to have to get inside and try and go for the frag here. He doesn't really have time for the diffuser. Shade just missing the shots just above his head. 20 seconds to go now. He sees him prone. He manages to finish him off. Wow, Shade, big play there and keeping Fury alive in round number 3.
A extra large play indeed. I thought maybe Gridlock, that's where we see the impact when they go for that plan and they're able to stop the push coming straight on through, but still not even having the largest of impacts, and that is a huge play to come in from Shade to deny a round on the board for Rhythm, as now they will attempt Hookah and Billiards once again. That was oh so successful for them. This time going to be rocking a smoke on Shade.
Yeah, pretty sloppy execute there, to be honest, from the side of Rhythm. Worthy seemingly not in any position to deny the Echo from pushing in, and his teammate just going straight down for the plant with no protection was brave, but clearly didn't work out in the end, as he was dropped, and then Worthy was left in a very, very peculiar position, unable to net that final frag. So things looking good so far for Fury. Potentially we could see a flawless first half, although unlikely. It is definitely possible, as they are 3-0 up at the moment.
They are, so I just had a small little buffer in my stream, so whereabouts are you? Just so I can catch up.
I will let you know right when we get into the action phase, so that'll be about 2 seconds. 1, and we're now in. Ready and away.
We're laughing. So that would be Shade making some renovations then that you're you're currently spotting out.
Indeed,
Anyway.
Shade, yeah, opening some nice holes. Whoa,
Oh, there we go.
Finally, we'll get a spawn kill. I think he actually ducked under the barricade there, so well played by him. And most importantly, actually, it's going to be Lion off the board, so no more of those pesky scans to come out for the defenders. They no longer have to worry about having to stand still for a couple seconds, and that'll be some nice peace of mind. If they actually know it's Lion that's been dropped, it was probably that quick that they might not even know who it was.
I feel sorry for Sky. He's been watching Rock on the run out for 3 times now, but there we go. Shade this time will be punished with Unit already holding on to the line, and it brings it back 1-on-1. So the smoke is down, who I think generally is quite critical to slowing down that bomb plant, or even straight out denying it. So now how do they reapply that burn that they might have been able to inflict? You'll have to wait and see. Obviously the Legion can still be quite a nuisance with those goo mines. That's Rock again, just running rampant all over Coastline right now. And they have not had an answer for him in this round in particular.
Yeah, it must be that black eye skin. Gives him 10% better aim, possibly. He's just running around and absolutely melting everything in his path so far. And Gridlock as well, off the board. So 2 very powerful coast plant operators, or execute operators, taken off board. Unfortunately for Rhythm, they look like they could go 4-0 down here.
It's a serious concern, and this could be a straight 7-0 if this continues this way, because Fury have just taken so much control. You can now see starting to make their way towards the west side of the building as Worthy gets caught out. Needs to be careful not to fall here. There's no potential for a trade, so he does back away. Allow Spruce to take control of the northern stairs. Still needing to be careful, of course. But they are going to... Oh, actually re-peeks into the angle. I'm quite surprised about that. Gets caught out trying to reload, but still secures the kill. As touched on before, no trade potential, but finally now starting to make some things work. But before you blink, before you breathe, Fury secure a 4th round. This could be done and dusted, my friend.
Yeah, things not looking good so far for Rhythm. They're going to have to gain some control of the map, I think, a little bit more efficiently, because it seems as if Fury have just been given free roam around the map. It's a bit of a playground for them at the moment, and not helped by the fact really in that previous round that both Lion and Gridlock were the first operators to go down. If anything, you want those to be the last 2, so that put them on a difficult position from the onset. So nonetheless, we will see Fury head back over to Kitchen. What are your thoughts? Are you still rooting for that 7-0?
I really think it's possible at this point. Fury have just gained so much momentum, and you can see with how kind of confident Rock is. You know, Rock is literally running rampant around the map. Like, the entire first half, Rock has been trying to make things happen, and I don't really see a way that they've been able to hard counter it without, you know, losing a player, because they're setting up quite nicely at this point for Fury. And I'm a strong believer in that 7-0 right now. I think that that's a huge potential.
Well, it would be a little bit ironic if Fury managed to take Rhythm here and beat them in a very similar fashion to how they got stomped by MF. So it does show a little bit of a discrepancy between sort of that Challenger League to Pro League level. But I guess it's not over yet. We are speaking a little bit prematurely here, and
Oh god,
Shade going for another spawn kill. So Fury not shying away from the cheeky spawn kills. Shade won't net a kill. Unfortunately for him, Worthy is holding an angle, waiting for that run out. And Shade now, he's just going to leg it away and get his breath as he heads back to site.
and with that, they are going to have to be careful of that heavy top presence that Fury are actually showing right now. There's 2 members that were up looking to do some dirty deeds, but whether they're going to be able to find him, that's Warden. Opening up onto is Worthy, and that is the buck down. So there's their breaching potential basically altogether gone. And this is going to make their job that much harder.
Yeah, it will be, as IQ unit not running breaches on IQ. So, as you mentioned, their potential to soft breach basically gone as the frags are continually going out. Line once again taken off the board early. And that's, once again, not going to make things easy for Rhythm. Not only are they at the man disadvantage, but without that line, it's going to be hard to crawl that back. Does look like Wayman now will be collapsing alongside his other members on the Jaeger, I believe, playing inside of theatre. If they can flush him out, then potentially they could get this back, but they are facing the top fragger in Rock at the moment, who will be G'd up and ready to get a couple more kills here as Warden preps for the run out. Does he manage to hit it? Yes, he does. A clean shot onto OJ. The diffuser is dropped, and Hope is now all but lost for Rhythm.
Oh no, it's just getting even more rough. How is Rock still alive at this point? He's just waiting for that head to pop on through. Not going to take the shot yet, not baiting himself into it, but with only 2 members left on the side of Rhythm, it looks like, again, another very convincing round to come through from Fury on their defense. And I'm not entirely sure whether they've got a response for this at all in this half, and Rock's just still tucked away in the corner. Not really allowing them to come on through, and that's just a free. The fuser's not even in the hands of the only player that might have been able to make something work, and Rock is just persisting to take this fight, not really giving. And yeah, no, okay, that is not nice.
That is, yeah, I think that pretty much summarizes the round there. Rock was just sitting in that corner for, what do you reckon, at least a minute?
Yeah.
Like, he was just chilling there in the theater, maybe watching a movie. I'm not sure exactly what he's into, but Rhythm just, where was the collapse? They had IQ there, ready and waiting from the other side to help push in, and they just let him sit there, unable to net the kill. And then, unfortunately, Spruce was able to get the C4 at the end. So, Rhythm, 1 round left now to try and get it to a 1-5 scoreline before they start to defend.
I'm honestly convinced that, like, Rock's just playing with the back of his seat leant backwards. Just, like, I'm so confident that he's just, like, chilling out right now. The fact that he's sitting in theatre, not stressing or trying to take aggressive lines, but holding is just ridiculous. And that's just the pain in the backside that he's been all game. And I think will continue to be, but, I mean, realistically, Guz, there's 2 rounds left, man.
Well, yeah, he's been a pain so far, but he might not be a pain for much longer, as Map could well and truly be sewn up here. 7-0 looking very, very possible. As Fury only need 2 more rounds to finish this one off, and not only claim the map, but they will claim the series, as it is currently 1-1 at the moment. Pretty standard setup here from Fury. Looks quite similar to what they did in their last defense at Blue Bar, which was a little bit of a clutch play in the end for them. Ultimately successful in the end, but oh my god, Rocky once again looking for the spawn kill. Surely he can't hit another one. Come on, Fury, please drain him out. Doesn't look like they are though, and he's going to run out and he's going to drop line. Thumbnail, unfortunately, will be dropped, and once again, line off the board, and those EE1Ds no longer available for the attackers.
I personally like to call that a desk thumper. That's just so tilting. Like, how many times is Rock gonna go for the run out before someone's able to stop him? You know, like. Anyway, well, you know what? That 6 rounds is what it's gonna take for them to stop him. The only way they're gonna be able to stop him is to switch sides.
Maybe we'll see on the attack. Rock will just 3-speed Ash, shift W straight into the side and finish it off with an ace. I wouldn't be surprised at this stage. There's just no answer from Rhythm so far, as they are going to look now to try from the north side. Shade taken down with a very cheeky angle. Potentially could get a shot vertically as well. They are playing above him in Aquarium, but Shade, knowing that they have the main advantage, will appropriately rotate back towards the side, hopefully. Possibly through the courtyard.
So, unit now going to be reconvening with that teammate on the first floor. I believe that was Wayne Man, which it is. So, taking control of office. They've got a lot of work to do between here and even Blue Bar. I don't think we're going to need to see the clutch at this point from any member on Fury. Rather, it's going to have to be from Rhythm in a 3 versus 5. A minute left on the clock. They've got no intel. They've got no real information or even space to move with. They're only just starting to put the feelers out. And too little, too late, I think, comes to mind when I think about this.
Yeah, although there is pretty strong fragging potential in the remaining members here, the fact that there's only 3 of them will make it very challenging if Fury hit their refrag. Spruce will get spicy, drop the diffuser. Could you get the second here onto the IQ? He just misses the initial shots, pulls out the super shoddy. Rock, though, will come and save him. So Rock, once again, getting in on the action, and unfortunately, Worthy now have to 1v5 clutch this unit. Fortunately, runs into a Claymore to make it a 1v4, but I don't think that's really going to make things much easier.
No, 20 seconds left. Bomb nowhere possibly picked up yet, but I started to believe for half a second. Maybe if he finds the pre-fire there, it works. But surely this doesn't come down to an actual position in which he can win. It doesn't. Is Worthy will eventually fall at the hands of Warden, and that is a clean 6-0 in the first half of the third map.
I think it's too late now to go back on my Rhythm prediction. They could still win. They could still win. 7 rounds straight, and then overtime. So, you know, 8 rounds straight. I'm feeling it. Maybe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna say yeah, sure. Oh man, this has been a spanking from Fury.
Indeed. I guess maybe they learned a thing or two from their Pro League game, possibly have gone back and reviewed that VOD from Mindfreak and maybe made some adjustments to this map and turned it around for the better. It seems like it's so far. That 6-0 scoreline looking a little bit daunting, and I wouldn't be surprised if Rhythm at the moment are pretty tilted. Nothing's gone their way. Rock completely destroying them from spawn, and pretty much every instance of them losing a round has been from tilt-inducing encounters. So don't imagine they have the healthiest mindset at the moment, and that's probably not going to help them if they want to win 8 rounds straight.
So what is Rock's rocking the Zofia, so I guess we're probably going to see something similar to what we saw before, which is just straight fragging potential. Like, yeah, I'm putting it all under Rock right now. He's just been absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I really hope Rock just shift W's this round, just run straight deciding points up. That would definitely summarise the game here very nicely for us. Warden, though, will drop Worthy, so the spawn kill unsuccessful from the defenders, and yeah, that's not great. He went for the same run out as Rock did, actually, on that first round, which didn't net a kill, but also didn't kill him. The same can't be said for Worthy, as he would be dropped. And, that opens the potential now for Rocky to just get straight into side and get to work when that call comes out.
So maybe there's a chance in this where we see the comeback, but I so highly doubt that. It's going to be the initial peaking coming through. Wayne Man does decide to invert a small portion, but what can they actually... I have no belief right now. I just feel like Fury have done everything possible, and it looks like they're going to continue to do so as well. The pressure's being put back onto Rhythm. I'm not sure they're going to have the answers for this, guys. This should be the map set done.
Yeah, only a minute in. It is a 3v4 as a unit picks up a kill onto Warden with the C4, but it's OJ actually with the second onto Golden, so maybe not a momentary lapse, but unfortunately, Spruce will drop OJ. Nice fault through the window, netted him that kill. Unit left alone in sight. Shade will clean him up. Thumbnail coming back with rotate, could get the double. But Fury will take the round 7-0. Pretty monstrous effort from them, and a little bit unexpected, at least for my part. Fury happy nonetheless.
Yeah, 7 straight rounds, man. Like, never a doubt in the mind. But maybe one round where Warden had to clutch 1v3, but... or Golden, I'm not even sure who it was. I'm just going to say one of the members on Fury had to clutch 1v3. But apart from that, there was nothing. 10 frags onto Rock, who was just an absolute monster.